Hey everyone, this is FaZe and welcome to my channel. Today I'm really excited to talk about the iPad Air, the new M2 one that Apple dropped in spring of 2024. My review on this M2 iPad Air is my #1 video in terms of viewership. So the amount of views I've gotten on that review, I have not gotten that many views on any other video on my channel. So thank you for watching and liking that video. And so today I'm going to be giving an updated review on how it is to use the M2 iPad Air for 6 months. So I've been using this for quite some time, not just this, but obviously the M4 iPad Pro as well. And both are great devices, but also for two different audiences. And I think that this iPad Air is actually the one that I recommend. Yes, the M4 iPad Pro has the best specs, the best display, and overall a better form factor in terms of thinness and lightness, but I still recommend the iPad Air. Why? Let's find out. So first, let's talk about the design of the iPad Air. So design-wise, it's that same boxy design that we all really love. Nothing new there. All iPads now all look identical, but I will say one thing when it comes to the design. This is called an iPad Air, and whenever Apple has come out with an Air device, whether it's with an iPad or a MacBook, Air always symbolizes the device for its thinness and lightness. So what's interesting is that the iPad Pro now is thinner and lighter than the iPad Air. That's kind of confusing. So why is this called Air? Because it's cheaper, I guess, but I just thought that was kind of funny. Now, one thing Apple has done this year is that they have changed the placement of the FaceTime camera from the vertical to now the landscape position. I think that is infinitely better because I remember whenever I would be doing FaceTime calls or Zoom calls and I'm talking to a client, it always felt like I was looking sideways because I'm trying to look at the person, but the camera is, not positioned in the center. So it makes me look like I'm looking elsewhere. But now this feels far more natural. And I really like that. I don't know why it took Apple so long to make that change, but it's greatly appreciated. But for the first time ever, you're getting a larger model. You're getting a 13-inch model on an iPad Air. The 13-inch model was always reserved for the more expensive iPad Pro, but you see a lot of people really like the larger screen on the iPad Pro, but they don't want to, necessarily pay $1,000 for a 13-inch device. And so now Apple listened and they're now giving you that 13-inch display on an iPad Air, so you don't have to pay so much just for a larger screen by going for the iPad Pro. And I'm personally a big fan of the 13-inch model because I'm someone who uses split screen a lot. I like to be working on a document and have another file open or Safari open. Maybe you have a picture-in-picture YouTube video playing in the background. And I really like that larger canvas that I have to work with. I think that's very, very nice. And I feel like iPads in general are becoming such versatile products that it's nice to be doing multiple things on a single display. And when you have that larger 13-inch display, it makes a big difference. The 11-inch is also great. In fact, this 11-inch that you see right here is my wife's. She is a fan of MacBooks. So I am team iPad, she is team MacBook. And she just wanted an iPad just for casual note-taking and just surfing the web, going through social media. The mini was too small for her and she wanted something that could also be used as a secondary monitor that kind of complements her MacBook. And so the 11-inch screen size was what was perfect for her, and that's what she went for. And I think that's great. So if you are someone in the market who wants an iPad just for, the tablet-like experience, and someone who really does a lot of work on their Mac and they want an iPad that kind of complements their MacBook experience, then I think the 11-inch is great. Even when it comes to just watching content, holding it in one hand, reading ebooks or the news, doing some light note-taking, I think the 11-inch is a perfect size. But if you are someone who wants to use your iPad more of as a computer, the 13-inch is perfect for that. But now that's enough of me talking about the display size. Ultimately, it really comes down to what you use your iPad for and what is best for your lifestyle. Now, in terms of display quality, whether you get the 11-inch or 13-inch, it's pretty much the same. And that's kind of what I was disappointed with. And I said that in my original review as well, that it has the same 60 hertz display as the previous generation iPad Air. And I know that the 120 hertz display that we all really, really love is reserved for the Pro Series iPads, but I get that. And I'm not asking for Apple to put the promotion display on this because the target audience for an iPad Air doesn't really care too much about it. I mean, I do, and I know a lot of others do, but clearly Apple doesn't think so. But at least bump it up to a 90 hertz display. Like, it's 2024. Even with the new iPad mini that just came out, it's got a 60 hertz display, which is fine for a small, thin, and light portable device like that. But with an iPad Air, which is for the mass consumer, give it a 90 hertz display. 60 hertz pales in comparison, so it almost makes the device feel slightly outdated. And there are rumors that the new M3 iPad Air that will come out next year will have a 90 hertz display. Another thing I really wish that they had done was if they bumped up the screen brightness. So right now, it's fine when you're indoors, but there are situations where I feel like it's slightly dark. And once again, a lot of that has to do when you compare it to the iPad Pro, because that is a very bright display. The M2 chip on this is pretty powerful. If you do anything that has to do with graphic design or video editing, this is no slouch. If anything, the M4 chip on the iPad Pro is slightly overkill. I think that if you are someone who doesn't want to spend the money on an iPad Pro, but still wants to get video editing done and graphic design and other graphics intensive work done, this is great. In fact, I will go as far as to say that this is a pro level machine, minus my issue with the display. This is a pro level machine for a lot of people, and not everyone needs a tandem OLED display, the most brightest display, or an M4 chip. And if those are things that you don't necessarily need, you're going to love this. But at the end of the day, I really enjoy using this iPad Air. I definitely will go as far as to say that this is the best iPad in the market for most people. The Mini is great for people who want the most portable form factor. The Pro is great for someone like me who really wants to replace their Mac with an iPad, and it really has for me. But at the same time, I feel like even this can really replace your Mac. You don't have to pay iPad Pro level money to get this. And sure, a better display would have been great, but then again, Apple has to make some, differences between the Air and the Pro. They can't be too similar at the end of the day. But I think this is a great iPad, especially at the price. It's $599 for the 11-inch and $799 for the 13-inch. And I think that is a great price, great form factor. I do wish that Apple gave us the same Magic Keyboard that they gave to the Pro users, because this year the iPad Pro got an all-new Magic Keyboard with an aluminum surface, function row keys, larger glass trackpad, and it just feels a lot more premium. So using the Magic Keyboard that's compatible with this, it kind of makes it feel a little old. And also with Apple Intelligence, this device is way more powerful than ever before with great new AI features. So that's another thing to consider as well. Also, a lot of people ask me what accessories I use. I use this really nice Comfyable sleeve. It's super nice, feels really premium, and I use Comfyable products for everything. So if you are interested in this nice sleeve, I have it in the color green for the iPad Air, and I have the brown one for the iPad Pro, and I absolutely love it. So if you're interested in this sleeve, then I have the link in the description below. Go check Comfyable out. Ultimately, I want to know your thoughts. What do you think of the iPad Air? Whatever thoughts you have, whatever questions you have, comment below, let me know. Also, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already done so, and I'll see you next time.